Listen, I appreciate it. It was great talking to you. Look for those invites. We'll be in touch. I would love to have you come up to the University of Vermont, Norris University, and up at Dartmouth College for some of the events.
I would definitely love to. Talk to you soon.
Hey, have a great evening, and thanks for letting me on your show.
Sure thing. We'll be right back, folks.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-352-1609. That's 1-800-352-1609.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method, and to get your free report, go to 52security.com. That's the number 52security.com. 52security.com. Go to 52security.com.
Hurt or injured in a car accident? It can be hard to take the proper legal action after a car accident, but waiting can cost you more. The law requires car accident victims to assert claims promptly. You could lose out by simply waiting. Call 800-709-4667 right now to see what your claim could be worth when handled by a skilled attorney. With a lawyer fighting and speaking up for you, you could be entitled to a big cash award. Call 800-709-4667. That's 800-709-4667. Now it's fast and easy to connect with the legal help you need after your car accident. Call 800-709-4667. The call is free, but you need to act now before time runs out on your claim. You need a lawyer to fight for you, protect you, and get you the compensation you need and deserve. Time's wasting. Call 800-709-4667. That's 800-709-4667. Call now.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please call or go online right now.
You shouldn't have to pay to talk to the people closest to you, or the people who used to be. That's why Umbrella Wireless is proud to announce the new Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan. Now you'll get unlimited calls to your best buddy, your mom, or Cindy, once she realizes that you're seriously meant for each other and should stop screening your calls. Now the 30 minutes of agonizing silence where you're both afraid to hang up may drain your battery, but it won't drain your wallet. And you'll get unlimited calls just to check if she still cares enough to pick up. with no extra charges. With the Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan, your phone will automatically answer calls from your ex, because maybe she finally realizes that you're the only one for her and wants to get coffee sometime. Now, after lonely nights of looking at pictures of the road trip you took together when everything was great, your misspelled texts are absolutely free. The only thing you have to pay for is the booze. The Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan, because she wants you back. She just doesn't know it yet.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show.
Welcome back, my fellow Americans. It is still I who am your lovable host here on The Rod Eccles Show. Hey, the Supreme Court upholds Obamacare subsidies. Now, I can hear the collective conservative sighing out there. And look, I was kind of buttressing people into understanding that this is the way. It could have gone one of two ways. Now, it could have gone where Justice Roberts was going to try to redeem himself for the pathetic, pitiful way that he allowed Obamacare to come into law in the first place. Or, which was more likely the case, he was going to reaffirm that he was correct in his previous judgment, and that he was going to allow this to stand. Now, I got to tell you, looking at, reading the opinion of the justices, I do not understand the logic. Yeah, you can sort of understand the intent, but look, the people who crafted the law, the people who know more about this law than anybody, people who wrote parts of the law, who debated parts of the law, they're the ones saying this is not right. Should not be legal. It is specifically clear on these exchanges what must happen. And the reason why they did it that way is to try to force the states into capitulating. Instead, some of the states, a lot of the states got bold and said, no, we're not going to follow through on this. And you can't make us. And so they decided, well, we're just going to go ahead and do it ourselves. But that's not what the law says. And somehow, the justices on the Supreme Court, 6 of them have decided, well, government can do whatever it damn well pleases. Because it is the intent. It isn't, what the law says. It's the intent. Now, I'm sorry, but there is no intent there because the law was pretty specific about what their intent was. It was tried to rope most of the the majority of the states into having an exchange system so that the federal government wouldn't have to pay for it. So they could claim that it's, saving all this kinds of money because, it wouldn't show up on federal books. That was the intent. But instead, the states thumbed their nose up at the Fed and said, we're not doing it because we're not putting this debt on our books. You handle it. Oh, wait, you can't because it's not the way you wrote the law. But instead of following the law, they decided that they were going to break the law and say, well, we intended it for the law to be this way. And so now 6 justices said, well, yeah, they intended it to be this way. So now the precedent has been set that the government doesn't actually have to follow the letter of the law. Now, folks, I can't tell you how dangerous that is. The federal government now doesn't have to follow the letter of the law. They can follow the intent of the law. And who's going to determine what the intent is? Well, the person who's pressing the law at that particular point in time is going to determine what the intent is. And because they're doing it with the intent, well, they have precedent saying, we can do this. The Supreme Court said so. But more importantly, I know what they were thinking is, well, geez, we have, about 6.5 million people who are receiving it. You know what I can't stand? I cannot stand this phony fake number from the left talking about how many additional insured people there are on Obamacare. First of all, the latest number I heard is nearly 17 million. First of all, that's a lie. Well, it's not nearly 17 million people new insured. You're talking a big bulk of that used to be insured in the private sector, and now they're insured on the Obamacare side. And frankly, it should be a lot more than that. And I know some people are saying, what do you mean it should be more than that, Rod? It takes time. No, it doesn't take time. Remember, there is a law that says you have to have it. So basically what they are out there touting as a big deal is actually proof of the American people's rejection of this law. If you've only got an additional 16 or 17 million people, and the law says that they have to have insurance, everybody has to have it, and only 16 or 17 million additional people have gotten it, that means your law is a failure. Because people, they can't afford it. They don't want it. They don't need it. For whatever reason, they're rebuffing it. So this notion, we got 17 million new, people on it. Even if that number was absolutely true, it is an abysmal failure based on that number. I mean, I don't know how you have a law that says that everybody must have health insurance. And then you only get an additional 16 million people. So in other words, if that's all that needed it, that didn't have it before, then why did we have this law? It's only 16 million people out of 230 million. Why did we need this law to fit 16 or 17 million people and put them on health insurance plans out of 230 million? If that's all we had to do, was just insure 16 or 17 million people. Oh, so it isn't 16 or 17. There's far more. So in other words, your law is a failure. But they can't say that. They have to tell, well, it takes time. No, it doesn't take time. Not in this case. If it's a voluntary system, yeah, it takes time. But this isn't voluntary. This is mandatory. You don't get a choice. Plain and simple. So this is a failure. A total, utter, complete failure. Just say it. Go ahead. All you Obama fans out there, go ahead and say it. Say, this is a failure. And it's taken the Supreme Court to basically prop it up. Because, all these states didn't have exchanges. So if you decided, think about this, if there's only 17 million people, new policies, and 6.5 million of them are on the federal government exchange, and they strike down the federal government exchange system, that means 6.5 million people probably lose their coverage, which now that 17 million is what, 10.5? 10.5 million. Yeah, is that still a success? Yeah, no, I don't think so. But, Chief Justice John Roberts wrote the opinion for the 4 Democrats appointed and Justice Anthony Kennedy, saying the Obama administration's interpretation of the Affordable Care Act was lawful. Yeah, lawful. Their interpretation of it. The states must set up exchanges. in order for everybody to be able to participate. And Obama's interpretation, well, I think that states don't have it.